Okay, whoever's watching this video, this is 30 through 41. We are on chapter 10 review. The test is Monday. All right, here we go. We have this line going on right here, this little pink one. What is he called? He is a tangent. Tangent touches the circle at only one place. Okay, if he is truly a tangent, this will be a 90-degree angle, and we got to solve for x, right? Okay, how do I do that? ABC. Which side is side C? X. So I've got 4 squared plus 10 squared equals x squared. All right, 4 squared is 16. 100. So 116 is what x squared is. Take the square root. What does that come out to be?
10.8.
10.8 is what x is. There you go. We just do the Pythagorean theorem because that has to be a 90-degree angle, okay? Same thing for this one, except which side is side C? 17. I've got x squared plus 15 squared equals 17 squared. This is a perfect right triangle. Do you know which one it is?
13.
Something 15, 17.
8.
8. It is 8. So x squared plus 225 equals 289. And if you subtract the 225, you get 64. He is 8. Okay? If you remembered the 8, 15, 17, you got to skip all those steps. So good for you. Okay? 32. Same thing again. This has to be a right angle if that's a tangent and a radius. And the side C is which one? 32. 32 is pointing to the whole thing, true? Not just this part? Yeah, let's say that. Okay. So x squared plus 13 squared equals 32 squared. Somebody to give me 32 squared.
1024.
This is 169. What is 1024? 1024. Okay. If I subtract 169, you get something.
Wait, but if 32 wasn't pointing to the, if it was just pointing to the outside, isn't that other part? 13?
Then that would have to be
13?
like 45, right? So if this was just 32 and this was 13, then this whole thing would be 45. But I think 32 is the whole thing. Otherwise they would have done this and put 32 like right here. 32. Does that make sense? They would have put it more close over there. Okay. X squared equals, what's 1024 minus 196 or 116? 855. And if you take the square root, it is 29.2. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. If that is truly a tangent, it intersected with the radius will be a 90-degree angle. It has to be. Okay. All right. 33. This is where it gets confusing. They say EFG. EFG is this angle right here, and that is 6x, yeah? Angle D is 2x minus 4. This is where it gets hard, right? Maybe not?
No.
This is a 4-sided figure. How many degrees are inside of a 4-sided figure?
360.
360.
Oh.
360.
Oh,
But
messed it up.
this is 90, and this is also 90, right? So if I subtract that 180, then these two add up to be the other 180, right? So 2x minus 4 plus the 6x, those two angles added together make the other 180, right? Okay. All right, if I add the 2x and 6x together, that's 8x. I'm going to add the 4 over. Equals 184, and that is, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. 23. Yep, x is 23. But they want the measure of angle D. So if 23 goes in there, 2 times 23 is 46 minus 4.
42.
42 degrees. There you go. Happy with that? Okay. Now, I know, like, there's only so many things that you can do, but one thing that people might try to do is 2x minus 4 equals 6x. Use your reasoning. Do those two angles look the same?
Yes.
No, they don't. This is an obtuse angle, and that's an acute angle. There's no way those two things are the same. No, absolutely not. Do not set them equal. Use your logic, right? All right, here we go. This is the ice cream cone idea, right? Okay, so I'm going to talk about this guy right here as 12. And if that's 12, then this is also 12. Because if you have two sides of your ice cream that are not the right size, your ice cream will fall off the top, right? They have to be the same size cone, so that's 12. This is 3, that means this is 3. This is 8, which means this is 8. This is 2, which means this is 2. And they want to know the perimeter?
50.
Is it 50?
Yeah.
50 what? Units. Units squared? No, perimeter's just units. 50 units, okay? You add them all up. Your ice cream cones on both sides have to be the same, otherwise your ice cream falls off the top. Got it?
That is circumscribed.
What? It is circumscribed, yes. Not that other
What does
word.
that mean?
What?
What does circumscribed mean?
Circumscribed means it is inside of the other shape, but it's touching at only one point, right? So like this circle is only touching there. It's just like kissing it, right? It's like kissing the outside of the box, right? At those places, okay? Right? This is not circumscribed, right? It has to like actually like kiss the sides, right? Okay? That's what that means. All right. Next, I'm going to draw some things. I'm going to put some stuff off to the side over here. This is for Jace. This is for Jace. Okay?
Why is it for me?
Because you like this. Here you go. This is what you asked for this.
No,
You
I'm
asked for
straight.
this the
I
other
don't
day.
like circles.
Okay, I don't care. You asked for this. All right, here we go. If we have two lines that are connecting like that, by the way, those two lines are what kind of lines?
Perpendicular.
Wait, perpendicular.
No, they're not. I don't know what that word.
What kind of line is
so
that?
funny, Sienna.
It's not a tangent line, it is a secant line. Okay, if these two guys are touching, the inside's there, and I'm given this arc, and I'm given this arc, and I'm trying to find these angles. I add them, and I divide by 2, right? I find the average. I add and divide by 2, okay? Now, let's say instead that my two lines are intersecting, and they touch out here, right? And I know this arc, and I know this arc, and I'm trying to find this angle. I subtract and divide by 2, right? Okay? And then this guy, let's say he is down over here, and I have a tangent line and a secant line, and I know this arc, and I'm trying to find this angle. I just divide by 2. Okay? Either I'm adding and divided by 2, subtracting and divided by 2, just dividing by 2. Okay? So 35, which one are we doing there? That one is an add divided by 2. Let's find the average. 32 and 112. If I add 32 plus 112 and I divide by 2, that gives me 72 degrees. Okay, what is 72 degrees?
32 and
This is 72 and this is 72. That's not what angle 2 is.
so 144
So it should be, they should add up to be 180.
minus 144.
So it should be 108 degrees.
Yeah.
108 degrees. Kellen, help me help you. 108 degrees, angle 2. 36. What are we doing there?
Same thing.
Same thing, but they want us to find UW. Okay, so I'm going to call him X, right? So help me out here. 36 is this guy, right?
Just divide by 2.
So I'm going to add and divide by 2, but what am I adding?
36.
No, X plus 26.
26 is this arc plus the X arc divided by 2 gives me 36, right? And then we just work backwards, okay? So I'm going to multiply the 2 over. What's 36 times 2? No. 72. We're going to subtract the 26. And X is 46. 46 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That should make sense. Guess what? Guess what?
Chicken butt.
How far apart is 26 and 36? 10. Then you add another 10 and you get, it's like the midpoint, right?
Yep.
That should make sense. Ah.
So it's 72 minus 26.
All right, I'm going to do one thing real quick here. Let's take this guy and let's continue him on. Okay? Make this line continuous, because I said so. Make that line continuous. Okay? This arc is 110. Okay? We're going to do this two different ways. I'm going to show you how this works. This arc is 110. So what is this little angle right here?
55.
55. And I know that 55 degrees and whatever this angle 4 is should add up to be
180.
180. So that is
125.
125. Now, Jordan started out doing this, which is totally fine. He said that if this is 110, then this arc should be 250. And if I take 250 and divide by 2, do you get 125? Yep.
You can do that.
You can do that.
What the heck?
Beautiful.
Where?
What the hell, Ron?
No wonder I failed this test.
Okay. 38. What's the strategy there?
That's a joke.
They want us to find angle P.
Subtract.
This one's a subtract and divide by 2. So what are you subtracting?
52 minus 18.
52 minus 18
Divided by 2.
divided by 2 is something.
17.
17 degrees. That's what angle P is. That one is a subtract divide by 2. You just have to figure out what strategy you're using. Either you're add divide by 2, subtract divide by 2, or just divide by 2. Got it? Yep. Okay. The last ones are circles. Circle, circle. I need two things for a circle. I need to know the
Radius.
radius And I need to know the center. The center is at negative 4, 8, and the radius is 7. Be careful. I had some people, I was checking homework assignments last night. I had some people where they gave you the diameter and they wrote this as like 196 because they squared the diameter, right? This number should not be 196. It should be how much?
49.
49 because it's 7 squared, not 14 squared, right? Over here, this guy plus this guy. We have x and we have y
Equation for this?
right here. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. There he is.
Do you have to?
I'm writing that.
Do you have to? If I just put 7 squared, or do I need to put 49?
You need to put 49. Okay, so what goes here? What goes in that blank?
8.
Positive 4.
Plus 4, right? It's the opposite sign. What goes in here?
Minus
Minus 8. This is the answer. Right? Yes? Beautiful? Okay. 40. The two things I need to write the equation of a circle are the center. What's the center?
Negative 4, negative 1.
Whoa. Negative 2, negative 1. And
Negative 4, negative 1.
what? Negative 2, negative 1.
I can't count.
And the radius is 4. Okay, so let's write our equation. X, what?
X plus 2.
Plus 2 plus y
Y plus 1.
plus 1 squared equals
16.
16. There you go.
Why is this useful
I
again?
read it wrong.
What?
Why is this useful?
Why is what useful? Writing out the equation of a circle?
Yeah.
Because so like we do this in trig. One of the things we do in trig, and it is, like let's say I take a line and I go through that, and I want to find where those two things intersect. I can use substitution and elimination with that linear function and the equation of the circle to find where those two things are intersecting.
So you do what now?
So I would take this equation and whatever this linear function, let's say that's y equals 2x plus 6, whatever, and I would combine those two equations using probably substitution in order to be able to find where these two coordinate points are where they cross. Does that make sense? So I have to be able to write the circle in equation format in order to be able to do calculations with it and figure out where those two things cross. Yeah. All right, 41. The two things that I need are the center and the radius. I know the center is at negative 5, negative 3, but I don't know the radius. How do I find the radius? The distance formula. All right. This guy and this guy. How far apart is negative 5 and negative 3? 2. How far apart is negative 3 and negative 5? 2. 2 squared is 4. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8, and the square root of 8. So the radius is not 2. The square root of 8 is not 2.
Oh, it's the third.
Yeah, it's the cubic root, okay? But we're not going to plug it into the calculator yet because we're going to leave it as the square root of 8. Because when we write the equation, it is x, what?
Because then it'll just.
Plus 5 squared
Y plus 3
You got it.
equals 8.
equals 8 because when you square the square root, it goes away. So we don't need to even find the decimal for it, right? Woo! Jace is all over those. Yeah.
Wait, you don't need to turn that in.
Okay, good? Happy with that? We're going to ace this test on, what day is it? Monday.
Oh no.
Monday. It's always been plus. It's always been plus.
No, it's minus.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Yeah. Minus, and then you have a negative.
And what's it?
Okay, whatever. All right, bye people watching this video.
You got this.